Anyway, let's start. We're going to talk about the submarine latest technological innovations and development. Now, unfortunately, Roger couldn't make it. He was in an earlier panel, but he needed to run. But what the good thing is that I have these two gentlemen. I'm very honored and happy to have them. And because we have, on one hand, we have the supplier, and on the other hand, we have the user. So they're going to fight with each other, you know, and I'm going to be like this, like this. That's going to happen. Or maybe not. Or maybe. But for this, I'll give them a quick minute to introduce themselves, say something about their company. And actually, Reniel actually made it. His luggage didn't make it, but he made it. So for him, a big applause. Merci, mon frère. Merci. Hein? So, okay, Hirano, if I may give you the floor.
Okay. This is Hirano from Submarine Electric, the supplier, the lowest level. But at the same time, without fiber, you cannot run the system. Okay, so I will sit. And at first, I would like to express my sincere thanks to Eric and the organizer to have the opportunity to have a talk here, panel talk. And as I commented, I'm the project manager for the submarine fiber supplier. You see, today, the global network is constructed by submarine fiber by more than 99%. So submarine cable and also the fiber, I want to, is, I can say, major important role for the global network. Without network, you can't come here, of course. So, and also the global demand for the submarine traffic is also growing like a 20-30% annually. So I want to hear your opinion for the future submarine network and system requirement. Thank you so much.
Okay, so thank you, Rano. And before I give the word to Reniel, so what he's actually saying is that you're gonna all sit here, and the three of us gonna sit there. You know, like the Muppet Show with the two guys, the two old guys. Not funny. Don't smile now. Don't laugh. So that's what we're gonna do. No, kidding, of course. Reniel, over to you.
Thank you. I'm Reni Lakwala, the Deputy Wholesale and Corporate Director of Congo Telecom. Congo Telecom is the incumbent operator of Congo Brazzaville, the small one, not the big one. And we are a global telco operator. We do mobile, fax, fixed line, wholesale, and MMS, A2P, all things, colocation.
The whole shebang.
All things. It's just global. And we have a department, a wholesale department that is international. That is why I'm here. And this is what we do for now. And we also have a presence here in Lisbon with the wax cable. And we are working to do some ACE cable and other ones. So I think we will have a nice discussion about this one.
Okay, thank you, and great having you as well. So bumping in immediately, and guys, we're going to do this completely interactive. So we expect from each of you a question. Na 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 na. It's gonna happen. Anyway, let's go into that. The submarine landscape, and maybe Reniel, we can start with you. Maybe you can give us an overview from your perspective. What do you see in submarine, especially on the latest technological innovations which are there? How do you use it, and what does it mean for your company?
Thank you. The submarine cable is the lifeline of our company, because without submarine cable, we cannot deliver the services we are giving to all the customers. So from our operator perspective, submarine is I think the basis of our job. And in this perspective, there is a huge cable is landing in all the world, and there is a big demand of capacity since COVID, and after for 5G, AI, and these things. So there is some explosion of demand of capacity. So we need to invest a lot of money in this one. Maybe the supplier will be happy.
They
should be happy. But in our perspective, we see that the without submarine cable, we cannot do anything. Inside of the country with the land fiber, and outside of the country with the submarine cable. We have also the sub-river cable in Congo Brazzaville to connect Congo Brazzaville and DRC. So we use also the sub-river cable. So from our perspective, the landscape is very interesting, but the context is changing. I think we will talk about that because the demand of global connectivity is there, but there is a lot of things. I think I don't want to anticipate, but we are going to talk about the challenge we have now.
Okay, cool. Irano?
Okay, so when I joined Sumitomo Electric, at that time, the latest submarine cable is 2 or 4 fiber pair with a fiber pair capacity around, let's say, 1 terabit. But today, you know, that there is another conference, Suboptic, in Lisbon during this week. Meta says they need 1 terabit cable. Okay, that is 1,000 times larger when I joined. It's less than 30 years before, or 28 years before. Okay, so there are so many things happens. Today, the single core fiber and also the dual core, quad core fiber will be introduced within the 2 or 3 years. Yes, trust me. Submarine cable system is changing every 5-10 years. So you know that that's single mode fiber with the repeater, system, and then the single mode fiber, what the dispersion shifted fiber with the submarine repeaters amplifier. And dispersion management fiber system, that the plus D minus system, D system, and the coherent system, just only the plus D system. 5 years before it happened, the SDM spatial demultiplexing system. In that case, that 16 fiber pair or 20 fiber pair, and maybe in this year, 24 fiber pair, it says that the half petabit transmission system will be introduced in the transatlantic system, and 1 petabit will come soon, maybe less than 4 years. So the innovation is very, very important, both the system and also the fiber. And where is the demand? That's the most important thing. So today that YouTube, TikTok, such a video, I heard that the main content for the submarine cable, but for the future, what will happen? I want to hear your opinion.
You see, he's asking your opinion. Huh? Give it. And you know, if you have any questions and you want to bump in, then just let us know and you can, huh? Wake up. Anyway, so Daniel, how do the latest technological innovation and solutions help to build, let's say, sustainable networks? And maybe we can go a bit more in deep on the what the latest technological innovations and advancements are, and what's out there.
Okay, I will give you a small story about that. When in 2012, when we start with the wax cable.
I was 12 years old back then.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yes. Yes, when we start with this cable, the original design capacities was 5.2 terabyte. Just only 5.2 terabyte. It was like 120 lambda of 10 gig, and it will give all 5.2 terabyte. Actually, this is a small capacity. For a submarine cable, this is a small capacity, but because of the innovation and the innovation of suppliers and the technology is advancing, this cable is now able to get 14.8 terabyte just in additional equipment. You don't have to put another fiber.
Exactly.
Yes.
You switch it.
And
Yeah.
in this point of view for an operator is something very interesting because the upgrade cost is low and you can lower your cost in per megabyte, and you can get more capacity without giving a very big invest like to land a new cable. So it's very important for suppliers to innovate every time and to do the solution to cost-effective solution. And for sustainable network, this is another things, because there is a lot of invest we need to do, particularly inside of energy and air driving network monitoring and these things. And this we can optimize the availability of cable. This can help to avoid customer disconnection because of manual procedure like we are doing now. So there is a lot of operators need to do to make a better network, but suppliers also need to innovate to give us the needed solution, because the world is going to change a lot. This is our point of view like operators.
So the good thing is actually what you're actually saying is that if you're, if you do not have enough capacity, you can blame him,
Yes, yes and no. But because if there is two things. If you just invest in one cable and you hope that to have availability of 100%, this is not possible. But if you need to serve capacity, this is depend of the supplier, because we don't have any way to have more capacity because they are supply the equipment. If the equipment is 1 terabyte or 1 petabyte, you cannot go more than that.
But you know how suppliers think, oh, you signed for it, so you bought it, so it's your fault. I'm you know how I mean it. You've been on too many of my panels. You know what I'm saying. No, but the thing is, I mean, he has a point here. You have to come up with innovations, on all the equipment, because for you it's a win situation because you're going to sell that equipment and you're going to sell it more often, and for them it's a win for the, let's say, for the user, right? Right? Yeah, it should be on. Should work.
Okay. So yes, I agree that the technology innovation is very, very important for the subsea, and not only the subsea, but also terrestrial as well. But especially the subsea, it's very, very important. Sometimes our innovation is ahead the international standardization, like ITUT, IC. They use very unique technology sometimes, but at the same time, the submarine fiber requires 20-25 years lifetime. So it's a little bit, how can I say, compromisation we need, okay? Very, how can I say, cutting edge, very innovative fiber you requires, but at the same time, you requires 20 years lifetimes. Okay, which is the most important. I understand
now
that.
we go into a fight.
Yeah, that without reliability, like 20 years, of course, we never supply such a fiber. For sure, we have various innovative fiber like a hollow core fiber, but the question is, it can survive 20 years under the water? That's a question.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Environment, I mean, and sustainability. I mean, it's a big topic, which is right, and it's becoming a bigger topic, and on a higher scale on the agendas everywhere. What are the best models and practices deployed by the organization to make networks and operators actually, let's say, greener? You know, what do you do? What can you do? You know, how limited are you? What do you need? Well, what could you say about that?
Okay, about that, I don't know if in Africa we are green or not, because normally we are green, but we are using not green technology. So we need to be more green to not destroy the green we have in Africa. This is an important point. But the other issue is in the Africa point of view, we are not sure to have always the budget to do that. This is something we are working for.
You need support on this one.
Yes, we need support, but for the new things we are doing, we need to be more green. For the old things, we need to see how we can migrate it to green. This is, from our point of view, what we need to do for green. But I want to introduce another thing is about the energy. In Africa and in Europe, it's not the same things. And I want to laugh, but now I'm thinking that Europe is going to have the same challenges as Africa.
Exactly. You're right.
Yes. And in this point, Africa is in advance because we always have challenges of power, of energy in Africa every time. But this is not the case in Europe. But this is becoming the case in Europe. So they want to find the solution, the backup solution for power and these things. And this is the basis. If you are in Africa, you have to have a backup power solution. This is the basic. But this is not the basic in Europe because it's available. But now the problem is that they are using a lot of power. It's becoming a big challenges. The data center is taking a lot of. The AI is coming with data center. It will take a lot of energy. So this is coming the big challenge in Europe, and we need to see how we are not going to destroy the planet because of that. So we need to be more green in these things. And I think all this kind of panel is for that, to make some discussion and to introduce this discussion, because this is very important for us. And I think now nobody can live without connection. So we don't have to destroy the planet because we cannot live without connection.
No, exactly. And there is also no excuse not to invest in Africa and to support and to help there. There is no excuse for it. I mean, do we agree? Right? I mean, we have no excuse to just support, right?
Yes.
And mostly it is with investments and to build, let's say, the data centers that they're building in Africa to make it not a concrete box, you know, but just make it a bit more sustainable and make sure that you as well invest in, you know, the young, beautiful population of Africa. That's what needs to be done. Because, and by partnering with it, you know, and to come up with win-win, let's say, solutions, you know, why not? Why not, right?
Yes.
So what are you doing to make the planet greener on the supplier side?
Yeah, the
You know?
supplier side, that very difficult question. You know, that data center, as Len commented, consume the gigawatt and hundreds megawatt. So the most of power is utilized for the data center. And cable, fiber, yes. I sometimes ask, you need green cable? They say no. Data center shall be the first priority. And cable, fiber, it's a very small. But even such a situation, we are trying to reduce the power consumption for the fiber and cable manufacturing. This is one reason why the people are trying to ramp up the cable capacity. Let's say that a 0.5 terabit cable versus 1 terabit cable. The electricity power consumption can be half. That at the same time, cable loading that doubles the capacity. And also, if the data center consumes a high power, data center can be distributed in Africa, of course, and in the Greenland or like that. So the question is how to connect it. So the distributed AI computing, then the optic cable becomes more important. That's my opinion.
Okay. No, because and I mean, we're discussing since, let's say, almost 2 days now, about data centers, submarine cables, the influence of a regulator, yes or not, good or bad, or these or what. But the actual fact is that, I mean, connectivity is the most important thing we want right now when we wake up. I will not say before we have another cup of coffee, but it is true. But so it's key. It should be priority, but it should be priority for the whole world, and not only for that region, or that region. No, and we should see it. We should prioritize it. It's a common good, as it is, and we'll benefit from it, all of them, right? Anything to add to that, Daniel?
Yes, I want to introduce another point is that, now the world is changing and there is a big geopolitical things. How in this geopolitical problem you are going to deal to provide global connectivity? Yeah, this is becoming a big challenge for our point of view. Like an operator, you need to connect this region with this region. You want to put a cable between this region, but you have geopolitical law, trade sanction, a lot of things, but people need to be connected. This is a thing we are now introducing, and this is a big challenge for operators. But it's also an opportunity, but it's a big challenge. This geopolitical point of view now in the world is becoming something complicated.
Again, change that. Have coffee with each other.
I can't.
No, work it out. Life is sometimes very simple, guys. It is not that difficult. We think about the difficulties, right? But sometimes think out of the box. Sometimes it can be easier. Sometimes a solution is there. But we need to focus, and we need to get our programs done we discussed earlier, and even yesterday as well, we mentioned that, the bottleneck at the, in the Red Sea, and all the things which are happening there with the sea cables, right? So, yeah, okay, should we stop at Djibouti? No. Should we go around Africa maybe a bit more? Yeah, but it's 6,000 kilometers longer. That's money. That's investment. But if I do this, I can connect all those countries and next to it, right? And you don't have to be Einstein for that, right? I mean, right? It can be done. And together with partners, together with suppliers, together with the operators, together with the regulators, together with the countries, I think this, and I know there are commissions talking about this and doing this and committees and whatever, but sometimes the talking is a bit over and we need to move, right?
Yeah, yes, we need to move, but it's not so easy. You see, we get several outages of submarine cable in Africa, and we all agree that we need to put a cable east side of Africa to west side of Africa. But all these countries have their regulatory,
I know,
have their law,
I've
and
been there.
things. So it's not so easy to do. We know the solution, because in our point of view, we know how we can put the infrastructure to connect people, what we need to do to avoid these things. But to have the same regulatory in different country, different people is not something easy. It's
Sudan,
easy to
Chad.
put a fiber, but it's not easy to put people together to work about something like this.
No, no, absolutely, and especially on the, and I don't want to go into the too much geopolitical or the political,
Yes.
but that is a political thing, especially
Yes.
Sudan, Chad, and all the countries. We know, we've been there, right? We know how difficult it is, but I have good hopes that one day they will say, listen, okay, even if we don't sort of like each other that much, but this is what we will not, let's say, attack.
Yes.
We'll keep that intact,
Mhm.
you know, and we will not do this to each other. But that is a certain grown-up mentality you need to have. Uh, we are people, you know, we're sometimes so stupid, sorry to say so. I'm not saying that you're stupid. I'm only saying that by myself. But sometimes we are, you know, life can be a bit more easier. So anyway, moving on a little bit. Irano, what can we expect a little bit for the future from a supplier point of view? You know, looking at the innovations you're currently busy with, you know, you and your company. What is there to expect? What you know? Is there a game changer coming? What is?
Yeah. For the 1 terabit cable, will come before 2030. The technology to be utilized for the submarine cable is completely different from the half petabit cable. You know that the half petabit cable, the plus D fiber, that very high quality single core fiber in C-band is utilized. There are 3 candidates for the 1 terabit system. The one is existing technology. Yeah, today, 24 fiber pair, each fiber pair can carry like a 20 terabit. So 20 by 48, it's 1 terabit. This is the first option. And second option is a C and L band with 24 fiber pair. Okay, 2 bands with 24 fiber pair. It is around 50 pairs. And third one is a 2-core fiber, dual core fiber. Okay, dual core fiber with 24 fiber pairs. It is the 48 pairs. Again, this is a 1 terabit cable. Maybe it's a good for the start of the innovation, but after 5 years, shall be concentrate in a single technology. People are very difficult to understand, or people are very difficult to, how can I say, connect each other using that different technology. That is happened in the 40 gig transmission systems. Each supplier, each carrier utilize each own technology. And what is happened for the 40 gig? Nothing. It moved to the 100 gig coherent system. We want to avoid such a system. Of course, as a fiber supplier, we can apply all of the technology, but we need industrial discussion to reach 1 petabit. What is the technology shall be utilized. But other fiber supplier Sumitomo Electric, I personally want to introduce new technology, new fiber. So I vote for multi-core fiber.
Okay. So for you, what can we expect from out of your beautiful country, from Congo Telecom? Can you scope a little bit the future? What do you want? What can we expect from you guys?
Based on what he said, that because Congo Telecom, you know, is in the middle of Central Africa, we are working to do a hub. Donc, we are working to do like Congo is coming an hub, and you have DRC, Angola, these things, and you can go to Europe, to US, to Latin America. So we want to be a hub for the data for Africa. The data coming from Europe, coming to Africa and landing by Congo Telecom, and we will distribute it inside of Africa and from Africa to Europe. This is what we are expecting to do in the next few years. And based on what we hear today, it's very interesting because the demand and the usage, I don't know if we can know where we are going, because things is going very quickly. And
Nobody has the
every
glass
time,
bowl.
every time, yeah, it's just like, we need 100 gig more, we need 1 peta more, we need more capacity because there is new usage. So we don't know where we are going, but we want to be a part of that changement. And this is what we expect to do for the future.
Okay. Irano, as a closing statement, what would be your message to the audience from your side?
Okay, so very simple thing I want to say. Please use bandwidth, global network. Okay, please watch video and please use AI as much as possible. Then I will be rich. Just joking. Okay, and that's the motivation for the innovation. Without such a, how can I say, great demand, we cannot make innovation. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Renier, for your last famous words for this panel session.
Yes, it was a very interesting panel. Thank you for the opportunity to talk here. And I hope that we will do that more time. And yes, we will use the streaming and this thing and the AI to be more cost effective. We will do that.
He's actually saying lower your prices,
But
right?
yes. I was coming. Yes, so supplier need to lower the price, and we can do something interesting, I think, in Africa.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions from your side? Yes. Oh, here we go. And now you wake up, huh?
Okay. In your permissions, I have two political questions and social political questions for Reniel. So, as you know, you share the second fastest river in the world. You have a big dam in this river, so it's not full operational. So they can produce energy for whole Africa. So why you don't make an agreement in your neighboring country, Republic of the Congo, work together in the World Bank to create the capacity to produce energy, to supply data center, everything you need. So this is a question, this is a very big opportunity, work together in Africa to improve this development. Another thing is regarding your country, what is the political and social guidelines you have in your country to permit enlarge the access for the internet for the people? Because in Africa, we know that unfortunately is a poor countries. So what is you have, because you're talking about an energy, supply connectivity or whatever, but we never forget the people. So because the people in Africa, I suppose is the most younger people in the world. I think the average is 14 or 15 forever. So these people, they have needs to access to internet, to have windows to look
They
the world.
have the right. They have
the right. They have the right. So this is something you part of the government, you are part of this social status in Africa. So what is you have to do this one, to improve this one? This is a question. For you are Japanese, I suppose you have a point of view of Asia. So what is the same question to Rajas to enlarge the access? Because I know that environment, social environment in Asia is different like in Africa. So, and you don't represent alone all Africa, you represent your country, but you need to work together. So what is, we can improve, use the technology we have in our hands. What is the future? Because you're talking about what is the future. So, and don't forget that we can, so just to remember one thing, in Mozambique, we have the big dam made by the Portuguese. They still working, produce power supply to Africa, to South Africa. So it's in the other side of the Africa, the work. Why in your country you don't work together to improve. If you can have the stability of energy, you are green, but you can be more green. Okay? Thank you very much.
Long question, by the way. Huh?
No, because Jé Barros is not here, and I'm member. Liliane, we are member of the observatories, just to keep it.
And you wanted to make your point, right?
Yeah.
And you did. So good for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
So, not easy questions, right?
It's an easy question because this is an actual problem we have. The power we have, yes, we have the river, but the river is between two countries.
Yep.
And for these two countries, we need to make agreement, to make a lot of things to do the supplier. It's a very big political question. It's not just, I think if there is no political inside, these things will be done a long, long time ago. Because of politics, some things are just locked. This is the first part for the river. But this kind of project are in discussion. We already have discussion between Congo B and GRC on that one. I think GRC already started to do all the things in the river to supply the power. They do that. Sometimes they supply us power. Sometimes we supply them power. So we can work together to do that. This is doable, but the issue is political. So I cannot talk about this politics because I don't have the right to talk about that. But I can answer your question that this is something we know, but it's locked by political. So this is something above us. For the second question, I will tell you the program in Congo-Brazzaville. In 1997, there is a civil war in Congo B. And after this civil war, Congo Telecom was just destroyed. And after that, the government do the national coverage project. And in this national coverage project, we start to have a submarine cable. It was the WAFs. And these WAFs never never birth. So we stayed without submarine cable until 2012. And on 2012, we start with the wax. In addition of this submarine cable landing in Congo, we work for the national coverage in telecommunication. We do the national backbone fiber from Pointe Noire to the upper side of country. So all the city in the country have the backbone fiber is coming. After that, we go the deployment of metro ring inside the city. And after that, we do the FTTH deployment. And this national coverage is now, we are talking now in the phase 3. So the phase 3 is about people, because the first one is to bring the big infrastructure to do the transportation of big capacity. And after that, the phase 3 is about distributing this capacity to people. So this is what Congo Telecom is doing with the government. So the government is doing the national coverage project, and inside of this national coverage project, now in phase 3, we are deploying the 5G, 4G, 3G. We are deploying the FTTX inside of the big city like Brazzaville and Pointe Noire, but also the small city inside of the upcountry. So this is how we can provide access to the end user. The other problem is that there is a lot of operators, they are big, they have money, they are everything, and they want to come inside of Congo in small market. So this is one problematic I want to discuss. In the big market, this is not an issue to have 1, 2, 3 operators, but in the small one, if the one have money, will kill the other one. If there is no protection about that, they will just kill us. So that is why maybe sometimes people think that we are just locked, we don't want to develop. It's not that. It's just want to protect what we have now, because if all the operators come in Congo, we just kill the market. There will no market. There will be no market because there is just 5 million people. If you have a lot of things, it will be a problem. But now, this is the phase. This phase is for Congo B. But there is another phase is from Congo B to the border country. So we have 4 fiber in the sub-river is going to DRC. So there is a lot of resilience between the two countries. We have fiber is going to Cabinda, and from Cabinda we are going to Angola. We have fiber is going to Cameroon. We have fiber is going to Central Africa. So this is because we want to do the transit and the inclusion of Central Africa. And this fiber, cross-border fiber, are connected to the submarine fiber to do the international connection. So this is how we are going to give I think I'm answering your question, how the people can use,
And benefit from it.
And benefit for them, yeah. Yes. This is what the program in Congo. And after this done, we will do in all Africa and Europe and these things. This is the plan we have.
No, great already. We had another question over there.
I have 2 questions. One is technical, so for Sumitomo. So we know we use a fusion splicer from you guys. It's amazing. The question is regarding hollow core fiber. When it's expected to come on the market, and how much latency we will win, because normally it doesn't reflect the light inside. So usually it reduces the latency because the fiber is the light is faster. So when it will be available, and is there any roadmap for equipment, and when it will be available on submarine cable?
Okay. So very good question. Now, by the way, how many minutes I can answer?
30 seconds.
Sorry. Okay, so the answer is very simple.
No. Take it time. Take your time, Irano.
The answer is very simple, very difficult. As I commented, that the reliability is an issue, one. And you know that for hollow core fiber, how to keep the submarine grade reliability, I have no idea. And another question is for the submarine using the low optical loss or low latency to be utilized. It requires the ultra long haul network, like 1,000 kilometer, 10,000 kilometer from US to Japan. In that case, the manufacturability is very, very important. But today, the latest technology of the glass or that hollow core fiber, just only 100 kilometer, okay? For the solid single core or multi-core fiber, we can manufacture several 1,000 kilometer. That's a huge difference. Okay, so people want to have the terabit hollow core fiber trans or Pacific system. How many years to manufacture? I don't know today, but maybe some genius will solve the problem. But at the same time, again, the reliability issue is happening. The hollow core fiber, the core is hollow, okay? Even a small moisture happens, loss is increasing very much. And also the glass can be easily break because the silica glass can be chemical react with the hydrogen, moisture, and easy to break. This is very difficult for the submarine application. But of course, for the latency application like data center campus expansion, yes, it is the obvious opportunity. So that's the reason why fiber supplier, including Sumitomo, have actively developing hollow core fiber. Okay.
The second question is to Renil. Actually, I know Renil since a few years now, a lot of years. And Renil single-handed...
You were on the other side of the river, right?
Correct. And actually, Renil saved our company 3 times. When every time WAX went down, Renil was the person who connected us. So the first time we were down for 4 hours, and Renil was able to bring us, and we didn't even have fiber, so it was microwaves. And he connected us before even asking for a bill and everything. So there was a human interaction, and before even, you know, like finance or politics and everything. So things move much faster when there is no politics involved. Second time, we were down only for 20 minutes because we already had the fiber. So we just switched from layer 2 connection to layer 3, and we were up. And the third time, we were already ready, and because of Renil. So we use Congo Brazzaville as a backup. today. We go out from Rwanda, and then, of course, we go from Brazzaville. So my question to Renil, is there any plan to do the reverse? Like, is there any plan for Congo Telecom to invest in the other Congo to have your redundant fiber in case you're down on one side?
This is the plan. I think we need to invest in a lot of countries, just not just DRC, but normally we should invest in DRC to have a loop, a big loop, because we have our internal loop inside of the country, but it will be interesting to just cross the river and to have another side to go back to the submarine cable. So yes, we have interest to that.
All right. All good. But did he say thank you for saving him 3 times or what?
Of course, I said thank you in Lingala and as well paid. So.
Oh, but that's fantastic. Okay, guys, and with that, I would like to close this this interesting session, and I would like to thank Irano and Daniel for their insights and sharing it with us and giving us a bit of an impression of, especially how it is in the region, also in Congo B and Congo the DCR. And Irano, thank you so much. And you just heard him, eh? Drop your pricing, eh? That's what he's saying. And he's buying enough from you. So thank you for your question as well. In 10 minutes, roughly, we're going to start with the panel session. We're going to talk about cybersecurity and AI transformation, what it all means and brings and whatever. And I have some very interesting panelists sitting here next to me. So stay with us, get a water and or coffee, and then I'll see you all back. Thank you so much, and stay well.